This is a message from your guides reading for the Andromedan star being. Okay, so I have some guides really coming up here, and I'm feeling some energies kind of intensely. They seem to be really working on your upper chakras. As I'm feeling first I was feeling kind of my jaw in here, and near my mouth and throat kind of. And then my back, but like my upper back. I'm feeling like probably some cords in there as well, it felt like. And then my third eye, a lot. And so just this whole kind of area here, and even up to the kind of the top of the solar plexus. It doesn't even feel like the solar plexus. It feels like some other chakra in there that I'm not even that aware of, but it feels like just above. Like, I know there is one that's kind of in between the heart chakra and the solar plexus, kind of in the center. This doesn't feel like that. This feels like literally like just above the solar plexus chakra. Feels like there's another one in there. I would say it feels a little bit smaller than the actual solar plexus. The weird thing is the color of it, though. It looks more like a color, more like one of these upper chakras would be. And kind of a dark color, but it seems like it's got some kind of purple or blue going on in there. They're not showing it to me that clearly, the actual color, but I'm kind of seeing a color like that, so it doesn't look like a color that's more like the solar plexus or sacral or root, one of those colors in there, where you're getting into that spectrum of colors. And I'm feeling kind of a little bit lower in my back now, still kind of my upper back though at the same time. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get into these chakras here, or chakras, brain, crystals here. I think we just got into some chakras. All right, so I'm going to start with the group crystals here. I have two of them. So I have my quartz here, my clear quartz, and also my peacock ore. These are the two that I pulled for the group. So you can see there's a lot of colors in this one. Purple, blue, pink, green, a lot of different ones in there. Even there's actually a lot of gold in this, and some red as well. So peacock ore, basically it represents all of the chakras because it has resonating colors with each one, and so it has to do with kind of bringing them into alignment, clearing all of your chakras, and just chakra work in general. But it especially has to do with clearing when it's with this crystal, because that's really what this crystal is all about, as well as your connection to your higher self, higher vibrations of energy. It doesn't only have to be an aspect of you. Okay, So calling on higher energies like that in general, and then also clearing. The clear quartz has a lot to do with clearing. So chakra clearing, and then I have the stones that I pulled specifically for your reading. So I have my purple fluorite here. So this has to do with psychic protection, clearing your mind, but I feel like I'm also pulling this for this other chakra that they were wanting you to be aware of. I feel like really all of these can kind of represent that chakra as well. I have all kind of deep colors here. And I wasn't seeing the exact color of that chakra. Okay, but it is kind of a deeper color. So I have my lapis lazuli as well. So this has to do with your third eye a lot. It has to do with your throat a lot. I don't feel like I should even necessarily say all the meanings though, just because again, I feel like it's representing this other chakra most of all. Okay, now these two I am going to go ahead and say some of what they're for, even though these are deeper colors too. Again, I feel like they're kind of resonating as well with that chakra. Okay, so I have my smoky quartz here. So this has to do with clearing, a lot of clearing. And for some reason I'm getting healing as well. And it feels like the emotional body and clearing out the emotional body specifically. I feel like the mental body as well, but it's not only the energy body that they're wanting to clear with you this week, or kind of in general. And whoa, am I feeling my third eye. So much pressure is on my third eye, it feels like. And then the back of my head as well. Okay, so then I have my obsidian here. So obsidian has to do with protecting your aura, clearing your space, deflecting a lot of energies back. I think I got this for you either last week or some recent week with you. Okay, I don't think I surrounded you in light. I don't think so. Okay, so I'm going to use my lapis to surround us in some protective space. Okay, so I feel like this chakra that they're pointing out is the problem. This is kind of it's like this is the root of these other problems with these higher ones here. The throat, the third eye with these, you know, clarity, distraction problems, all of this. It has something to do with this chakra right here. It's not even that big. It's big enough though. It's significant enough to be causing you some problems here, but it's not as big as this main one here in the solar plexus. So I even feel like that's part of the reason that they haven't brought it up yet. But with certain things, that's kind of the area that's actually causing all the others to be kind of out of whack. Like just in certain areas of your life, it feels like. Okay, so what they're saying is that this chakra, it kind of, it feels like a little bit of a central point where it is kind of, okay, especially if you're thinking about other chakras as well. If you're thinking about chakras in the arms and the legs and the feet, then this is kind of a central point in here, and it feels like Okay. Once you get into the solar plexus, you're kind of getting into another area a little bit. We're coming into more, in a sense, masculine chakras where we're wanting to manifest versus these upper chakras are more like what we are envisioning. So there are a lot of feminine energies with the higher chakras up here with your third eye and your crown chakra. We're moving inward with our psychic abilities, connecting with our guides, and even the heart chakra as well. This is about your desires, emotional attachments, and things that we want. So things that we would want to manifest. In other words, our desires and what we are envisioning. These are kind of these higher ones. Once we get into the solar plexus, we're more talking about manifesting. And now it's taking this inner thing that we have and it wants to push it out. The sacral as well, it's a very creative center. There's a lot of manifestation energies there. And of course, the root chakra. We have a lot of manifestation energies with the root chakra going on. Then these lower chakras we don't really hear a lot about, but obviously there are lower chakras as well. It doesn't just end there. And then there are other chakras in between. There are chakras up above our head that we rarely hear about. Then there are even chakras in our aura, actually, that do things like clear your aura space or protect your auric space, that I've come across during readings, and also that the council has specifically channeled about quite a lot. Okay, so this chakra here, right above the solar plexus, what your guides are saying is that because these upper ones are kind of dealing more with feminine kind of things, moving inward, thinking about our goals and what we would want to bring, our vision, things like this, our psychic abilities, all these inward kind of things, whereas these lower ones are having to do with actually manifesting them, putting them out, and goals as well with these chakras, obviously. What can we do to put this out? But they're also saying goals for these higher ones because there is this kind of mental, there is some mental stuff going on up here as well, obviously. So we still have some masculine energies up near the top with these chakras because there is a lot of logic, ability to focus on the thing that you want. So they're saying that there's still that balance there, but still, in general, these are what these two are mainly about. You kind of have these feminine vision versus this more manifestation, which is masculine. So this one here right above the solar plexus, they're saying since it's kind of in between those, it's like it tries to kind of harmonize them. So they're saying that it's plays a very important role. They're saying even though a lot of people don't really hear about it. And again, this isn't right in between the heart and the solar plexus because I have heard of one being there. That is a little bit more common to hear about. You still don't hear about it that often, but this is literally just above the solar plexus. So that's why they were attempting to kind of show me the color and kind of get across to me that it's having a lot to do with these higher chakras like purples and blues and things like that. So it wants to harmonize them all. So they're saying that this can be a really big problem area when it comes to taking the actual vision that you have, which and what you want to create, and actually passing it into the lower chakras and getting it to manifest. Or they're saying like solidify is a word that they're using. So they're saying get it, make it physical. So these ones up here, these chakras up here are more dealing with what's ethereal, what's etheric, and not so much what has physically come into being in this tangible, physical way where we can see it, it's materialized. That doesn't mean it isn't there or it isn't in existence or it hasn't already existed for a long time even. If we're having trouble getting it to manifest, it's almost like over here in the astral, it's like you have this idea and you put it out there. And if you're very blocked, it can take a long time for it to become physical. But what they're saying is, okay, like for instance, if you were to go into the astral with your astral body, you were traveling in the astral, and let's see that you saw one of your ideas or visions, something that you wanted to create out there in the astral being created by you, then you're going to see stages, basically. You're going to start seeing the stage that it is in. And the closer that it comes to actually physically materializing, you're going to see it there in full color, and it's going to seem very, very apparent to you, okay? So it's going to go from looking like a kind of wisp of air sort of thing to something that even in the astral looks more solid. It looks much more apparent versus transparent. And the more that it takes on like a very apparent form, the more solidified it becomes over there, then you know that you're much closer to having it over here. And any second, any day, any hour, it's going to manifest all of a sudden where now you have it over here and you're seeing it. But it has to be something out there already. Okay, so they're saying that this this chakra in here also has to do with that. It also kind of oversees this. I feel like there are some other chakras that kind of help with that as well. But I feel like this is kind of the main one in there that is helping with that, because it's helping to harmonize these two different areas and these two different aspects in a sense, or polarities in a sense of yourself, your energy. So this is something really important to focus on for you, this area here. Because they're saying that you're having difficulty with manifesting. You have a desire, but you need to see it manifest. And again, this feels like it's really the root area. Other people, they can have a problem with something manifesting, and it doesn't mean that it is this specific chakra. But with you, I really feel like with you, it's this specific place. This is what they're really indicating. So you need to focus on this specific chakra spinning. They're not saying the exact color. It doesn't matter if you know the exact color. Have the area for one, and just start visualizing it with your intent, basically. You have your intent, you know which one that you're attempting to envision, or visualize, rather. And just see it spinning, but I feel like I should work on this as well. But a lot of these problems, like you can't focus, you can't express when it comes to what you want and putting yourself out there in a way where it helps you to create it, or even helping yourself to get organized. This is the chakra that you need to work on for all those things. Even though those are having to do with other chakras, those chakras are not really the source of the kind of buildup of energy that you're sort of sorting through. Okay. I need more crystals. Okay, so go ahead and bring this one over too. All right, got all the crystals. So you need to visualize this clearing and spinning. They're even showing me you can visualize that you kind of tear like a slit in this energy center where the kind of excess energy or the buildup of negative energy or stale energy that you really don't want, that's been in there for a long time, you can let it seep out. You want it to just come pouring out. That's what really needs to happen. I feel like they want you to do that, though. I feel like the visualization I'm doing is more kind of clearing the outside of it, is how it seems, and energy that is around it, that's kind of built up around it. The visualization that you do, I feel like it needs to, again, like almost like visualize that you're putting like a slit in this chakra where the energy can come out, and focus more on the inside of it. Focus more on the center of it and the actual energy on the inside of it, where you're clearing it out. Because it feels like it's soaked up a lot of energy into there and absorbed a lot, and it's kind of just sitting all in there in the chakra. Chakras are balls of energy, so obviously they can store energy. You want it to be storing the energy that you would want, which doesn't really mean that it's storing it. When a chakra is really working right, the energy is flowing. So it's not a bunch of old energy. Even if it's positive energy originally, if it gets stuck in there and it's storing all that positive energy in there, it's going to end up becoming sour in a sense. It's going to end up getting stale, and you're still going to have to remove it. So that's why you want them to be spinning. You want them to be generating new energy all the time and clearing out old energies. That's what chakras are designed to do. So if they get blocked up where they can't really spin properly, then that's the process that isn't happening anymore. This energy here, this chakra, there's almost this feeling like, whoa, what is happening? Like, it is really not used to being moved or having any kind of supportive kind of energy really being sent to it. It's just used to kind of sitting there and kind of collecting things and hoping it can spin here or there once in a while when it can. So it's not that it's never spun, but it hasn't been able to really do it consistently at all. And there have been a lot of patches where it feels like it's gone even for years without really spinning. So it feels like it needs to be sent energies as well. So once you focus on clearing a lot of that, it feels like you need to kind of alternate. You can clear a lot of that, then you also need to focus on sending some energy into that chakra. I would focus on some like solar type of energy. You can kind of think of the sun filling that space. So you want something that will really charge it and revitalize it. I was just saying to someone else in our group, sun energies filling a chakra. But your guides are bringing that up as well. I feel like once you really get this chakra cleared, you are gonna feel like a huge difference, but not not just feel a big difference, like the way you do things, the way that you come across even, I feel like. Um, your sense of organization and just having an order with everything that you're doing. But I also feel like when it comes to manifesting and things actually manifesting into physical form, I feel like you're going to have a breakthrough with that. Once this area is really cleared out and once it's really harnessed, so this is definitely something to really work on. Okay, so that is all that your guides have to say for this reading. So thank you very much, the Andromedan star being, for another reading, and I will see you next week.